Hey everybody, how y'all doing today? I wanted to talk and continue on this journey that we're on regarding um, being a survivor, right? Maybe you've been in a relationship that was physically abusive, mentally, verbally abusive. Maybe you've been in a marriage, and maybe you still are in that marriage or relationship and don't quite know what to do. Let me just say, if you're in a physically abusive relationship, please get to safety and then start working on you and start working on the relationship if that's possible, if that person is willing. Today, I want to talk about the flags that you see because, guys, here's a reality. Just because you leave one abusive relationship doesn't mean that you might not get back into another abusive relationship. And so sometimes we're thinking that it was us, that we did something wrong. But really what happens is that our picker is off. Like we gravitate towards the same person over and over and over. And you might be saying, yeah, I've done that before. Like you have dated the same type of person. Guys, I'll be honest. When I look at the serious relationships that I've had, my marriages, I've had two. And then I was in a relationship for 7 years after that. And all of them had the same physical look. One was a guy from the islands. One was from here in Houston. Both of them were black. And then my last relationship for 7 years was with actually a white man. And they all looked alike. And so I gravitate towards a certain look, right? And we might gravitate towards a certain personality type. So today I want to talk about those red flags that we see. And I want to talk about these personality traits that we gravitate towards. I'm going to be talking a lot from this particular book called Attached, right? And it tells us that there are three personality types. One is going to be avoidant, one is going to be anxious, and one is going to be secure. Okay? So what exactly does that mean? Anxious is going to be that person that is very clingy, right? And they need constant validation from you. And guys, sometimes the anxious type that needs that constant validation from you, that you love him, that you love her, they're sometimes the ones that's going to be abusive to you, okay? Because they're so insecure, they're possessive, they're jealous. Someone was telling me the other day about a relationship that they were in, and this person was working out of town frequently and was constantly calling saying, where are you? What are you doing? Who are you with? Oh, you're at dinner with your friends. Take a picture, and she would take a picture with her and her friends out to dinner to prove that she was not with a guy. And then one time she did it and there was a guy sitting behind her. And he said, well, who's that guy sitting at the table next to you? I mean, it was very insecure, very anxious, needed this constant validation of he is so loved, right? And it really caused problems in their relationship. And this particular person had been in physically abusive relationships in the past. But she kind of got blindsided because this person wasn't physically abusive, right? But then it started being this more verbal abuse, okay? And she really thought that she was going to marry this guy because he was so loving and so caring and so attentive to her needs. He wanted to be there for everything that she needed, right? And that's another warning sign, guys, because he wants to be your everything so that you have no independence. you have to have some independence in your relationship. You have to be both secure people. So let's move on to the avoidant person. And I know a lot of you have experienced this. This is the person who they're all over you today, and you're everything to them. And tomorrow you don't hear from them. You text them good morning and they don't respond. You call them 2 hours later and leave them a message. They don't respond. You call them at their job after lunch. You don't hear anything. And what's going on is they are manipulating you. They are totally controlling you. Because what do you start to do? You start to think that your relationship with this person is over. You've done something wrong. What can I do to make it right? Oh, I'm going to make this awesome dinner for him tonight. I'm going to, do whatever in the bedroom tonight. And it's this avoidance personality. And that person also has some insecurity issues, but they handle it in a different way. They handle it by creating these barriers and these walls so that you can't connect with them and you can't really bond with them. And they keep you at bay and they keep you on your toes so that you're willing to do almost anything to keep that person. And it becomes this game and you can't figure it out. You're like, what is going on? I didn't do anything wrong. I said all the right things. And before you know it, you're walking on eggshells. This is a red flag, guys. This is a warning sign that this is not right. Okay. This person is not secure. And where does the security come from? It comes from their background. What I like to tell people is you can take 2 or 3 dates. Just when you're in a dating scene. 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 long conversations. People are telling me hello and I can't read it. Hey, good morning, Terry. Hello, Nina. Good morning, guys. So, you are trying to figure this thing out. And you can usually figure this out within 3 dates or 3 long conversations on the phone with somebody. I remember someone telling me that they had a conversation with someone, and on the very first conversation, this guy says, she was asking about his goals, and, they're just having these conversations, right? They're both older and, in their 50s and, not working as much and semi-retired, that kind of thing. And so she said, oh, so what's your next steps? What are you going to do next? And he goes, well, didn't I tell you? Behind every good man is a good woman. And, and she knew. She knew that was a warning sign, right? That he was making her everything. Yes, Nina, been there, done that. I know, right? And so, she did continue her conversations with this guy for a little while. And then she just knew that it was not going to happen. She never even went out on a date with this person because she knew that there were some insecurities there, that he didn't know what he was doing anymore and he needed to be attached. And she also knew that his mother had recently passed away. And his mother had been everything to him. And he had quit his job and been with this person for, taking care of his mom for some years. And so he was looking for another mom. And she did not want to be another mom, right? Who wants to be a mom? So, and then we guys have the secure type, right? So the secure type is they're secure in their person. They're secure in who they are. They're confident. And they're not afraid of losing out. They are able to allow you to be secure. And here's what's strange. When you are with a secure person, you become more secure. When you're with an anxious, insecure person, you become really insecure. And when you're with that avoidant person, you're so confused, you don't know what's going on anymore. And so we have to learn to look for that secure person that can allow you to grow, that can allow you to be who you are. Other red flags, guys. And again, this is when you have gone through an abusive relationship. You're now survived that relationship. You're out there dating again. And you're ready to have a healthy relationship, right? Because we are surviving, right? But we don't want to go back into something that's negative, something that is abusive or damaging to our self. And it's easy to do that because there's the grooming behavior. This person is grooming you into who they want to be. I'm a business owner, and I own some real estate, and I'm always talking about training my tenants and training my staff and training even my contractors. And I train people in the mindset that I want them to have so that we can have a productive relationship. That is very important. But when you're out there and you're dating, look at how they're treating you. I remember years and years ago that I was on a date. We turned the car, a glass fell and broke, and there was glass everywhere. He immediately panicked, pulled over on the side of the road. Don't move, don't move, don't move. And just cleaned up all the glass around me. And I thought that was just so sweet. Oh, I just thought it was so sweet. No, that was his way of controlling everything that I did and treating me like I was a child. I know some women who say, I'm just going to go out on a date. I'm going to date all these different people and have them take me out to eat because I want a free meal and I want to experience all the nice restaurants, right? And if that's you, that's okay. As long as you understand your boundaries. I can't do that. First of all, I don't like to go out to eat a lot. I like to have a home cooked meal here at home. But I know that we as women fall in love quickly. I know I fall in love. And if I am dating someone and we go out on multiple dates because he's treating me out and he's treating me nice, and I know that he's insecure, and I know that he has mama issues, before you know it, guys, I am going to start liking this person because I'm a people person and I like people and I'm easy to get along with, and I can understand your behaviors. So before you know it, I'm like, oh, well, it's okay. Well, he's really nice. Well, yeah, I know he's insecure. And before you know it, I'm liking him. And before you know it, oh, well, okay, we'll do the do. And, we've been dating for 6 months, so let's do the do. And now what? Now I'm connected physically and emotionally to a guy who's insecure and only going to cause me grief. And maybe he's not causing me grief today, but he's going to cause me grief. And I know that. So I don't even go into that arena. So I want you guys to be careful. You hear about the 90-day rule, right? You don't do the do until you've been dating a person for 90 days. I'm telling you, don't even continue to date a person after you know what their issues are in 3 dates or in 3 phone sessions, right? So attach. This book is just phenomenal. I wanted to just read a few things or go over a few things before we actually end. Okay, so it talks about some behaviors, right? So it says excessive attempts to reestablish contact, right? So, they're calling, testing you, and then they're pulling away. They might do that for a week, a month. I've known people to do it for only a couple of days, and you're like, oh, he likes me. Okay, especially with this online dating thing, guys, it kills me. Because so many women are being taken advantage of with this online dating stuff. Because they can play so many people at one time. And they're texting you back and forth and sending you messages. And you're like, oh, this guy's good looking. He has a good income. He has a good job. He's a family person. He's a church person. He's a non-smoker. And before you know it, you're there with him, right? And then, it's like, wait a minute, where did he go? Nina says I sound just like her. Girl, because I know. And then they withdraw. And then they're silent and you don't hear anything, nothing. And then you have those that are just keeping score. Like they keeping tabs on everything you do wrong. Really? Really? Well, last week or I didn't call you back because last night when I said, have a good night, you just said, you too. And you're thinking, dude, you knew that I was in the middle of a project when I answered your phone and took your call anyway, right? I took time out of my schedule to talk to you. And now you're saying because I said it a certain way? Dude, really? Right? So then they keep scores on you. They act hostile, guys. Hostility in physical actions come usually in verbal actions. It comes in those facial expressions, rolling their eyes at you and, just turning their back on you. Or you're having a phone conversation, but you know that they're texting someone else at the same time. You go out to eat and they're quiet and they're sitting across the table on their freaking cell phone, right? I'm sorry. I'm kind of getting a little passionate about this. And then this is a big one. They threaten to leave you, right? You're dating, everything's going well, you think things are fine, and they're like, I don't know if this is going to work because you do this and you do that. I don't know if this is going to work. And you're like, but, we can make it work. We can go to counseling. And guys, I'm going to be very honest. If you come to me as a therapist and say, this is what's going on, I'm going to say, okay, let's look at his personality type. You guys are just in the dating stage. And if you're having this many problems in a dating stage, you probably don't need to continue. I'm sorry. I'm going to be very honest with you. Most of our therapists are going to help you through this as well at Gateway to Counseling. We're going to be honest feedback because we're there to help you, right? I mean, that's our whole thing. If we think that couples therapy can work, we're going to try that. But understand what type of person are you dealing with, right? And here's just the last one. Making him or her feel jealous. Oh, dear me. Like they want you to be jealous. Here's a good example. So you're at the restaurant, right? And you guys are eating and he's mad at you and you've ordered and there's a young girl who is your waitress and she's looking at him and you see him looking at her a certain way. And you're like, am I here? I just saw this. And, and it's just hilarious to me. I'm so sorry. But he's doing it to make you jealous. He's texting on his phone and not letting you see it because he wants to make you jealous and he wants to make you behave a certain way so that he can manipulate you. Ooh, you've been on the fly on my wall. Girl, I've just been there. I've been there. And I've worked with so many people, guys, who have been there. So I just wanted to break this stuff down to you today because we don't have to be in an abusive relationship. We don't have to go down that road. We've been there before. We're survivors. We've done it. We've gotten out of it, but let's not get back in it again, okay? I don't like this other person. Maybe she's not in a physically abusive relationship, but she's in a verbally and mentally abusive relationship once again. Okay, so if you guys need anything, Gateway to Counseling, we're here. We have lots of therapists that can help you. Not me personally, no. I do this kind of stuff for you guys, and I oversee everything else. But if you need us, please reach out to us, gatewaytocounseling.com. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Nina. Thank you, guys.